Last game, live odds, sportsbookreview.com, Friday night, ESPN, Oregon and Cal 3, 87.5 the total. What's that?
I'm laughing. 87.5.
Yeah, how high it is.
We're not going to see a lot of totals higher than that. That's about as high as it gets.
Well, it's every Cal game. Come on. Both teams off a loss in a bye. Oregon State beat Cal. Oregon's lost 4 in a row. Nebraska, Colorado, Washington State, and Washington. The Ducks are 0-5-1. ATS had the tough push at Nebraska. Cal 2-0 straight up in ATS at home. Wins over Texas and Utah. 2 upsets. 0-2 ATS is chalk, though. Oregon State and Hawaii. And for fifth-year seniors at Oregon, a major role change. And now you wonder, they had this time off with the offense. If Webb can, because they had limited practice as he was a transfer, if Sonny Dykes can add something to the playbook.
Boy, there's a lot of stuff to comment on there. Let's start with both teams off a loss and a bye. Here's Oregon. They've lost 4 straight. Nebraska, Colorado, Washington State, Washington. All those teams are good. All those teams are better than Cal. All right, so you have a Ducks team that is certainly going to be focused, coming off a bye with extra time to prepare. They've yet to cover a point spread this season, so there's absolutely no ATS pressure on Oregon after years of there being ATS pressure. There's no more tax that you're paying with the Ducks anymore. And you talked about Cal. They have 2 wins at home, 2 covers, both of them were as underdogs. They've been favored twice. They failed to cover twice. Now, we look at the series history. You said for the major role change for those fifth-year seniors. Look, the last 4 years, Oregon wins 44-28, 59-41, 55-16, and 59-17. We're talking dominating Cal, like it hadn't even been close. The closest is what, a 16-point win for the Ducks. Now Cal's favored this year. And of course, Cal, you talk about a team, they cannot stop anybody. The losing team, not the winning team, the losing team has scored at least 40 points in 4 of the last 5 Bears games, and all 5 were 1-possession games inside of the final minute. I can tell you who's going to win this game. Whoever has the ball last. That's, from a betting standpoint, that generally means take the underdog. But it also tends to mean take the over at 87.5. Can you get there?
Yeah. Webb, 22 touchdowns, 2,200 passing yards already, too. So, as I mentioned earlier, wasn't with the team in spring practice, the Texas Tech transfer. Do you think Sonny Dykes will add a new wrinkle?
Oh, I'm sure he will. And that's bad news for Oregon's defense. Because, look, Davis Webb, he's not great. But he can certainly run this spread offense, and he'll make a couple of throws every game. You're like, no. But, as we talked about a moment ago, Aaron Rodgers can make those throws too. But the fact that we got a Cal team with extra time to prepare, that means more wrinkles in that offense for Sonny Dykes and company. And the Oregon defense, look, let's be real about it. It's been a disaster under Brady Hoke. And I mean a complete disaster. First 3 Oregon Pac-12 games, they have averaged 31 points a game. And they've been outscored by 23 points a game. That's insane. They're giving up 54 points, 642 yards, 6.7 yards per rush, 9.3 yards per pass. And now you're facing a really good offense that's had extra time to prepare. Good luck, Oregon. I know that Cal is the weakest of the foes you've played in your last 5 ball games. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to beat them.
I can't believe Helfrich is still there. He had a good quote about fighting through the job pressure, as he's likely to be gone after this season. Quote, you're always managing some outside noise. In those situations, it's the Heisman this, you're the greatest that. Everyone's the greatest. That's not where you want your focus. In our situation right now, it's the opposite of that. That's not where we want our focus either. Constant approach to getting better, improving, and competing as a team. Nobody's more frustrated than the people inside this building. At the same time, we have to go about solving it. The same people that say you're the greatest or the smartest or the best, which that's probably not true, are the same people that tell you you're the bottom of the barrel or whatever other adjectives might be in there, but that's not true either. We absolutely have a plan in place, both from a coaching standpoint, a development standpoint of how we're working through this phase to deal with where we are, end quote. It's been a disaster. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, look, Oregon is a team that has not yet covered a point spread this season, and the expression is you don't try to catch a falling knife. When the markets tell me that there's legitimate value on Oregon, that they're absolutely being priced appropriately, maybe I consider playing the Ducks. But this team has been priced incorrectly. They have a head coach that is absolutely under fire right now, and a program that's not used to losing, going through some really hard times. Yeah, and my gut, initial say, all right, a coin flip game, you take the points. But the more I thought about it, the less excited I was about taking Oregon plus the 3.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.